Hey friends, this is Jay Bartels, and I continue to get unsolicited email from Solavei, which I could deal with that. A lot of people send unsolicited email, but there's a couple things that caught me. One in Solavei's policies and procedures, the one no-no is you cannot mention T-Mobile whatsoever. But as I'm going down this thing, it gets pretty crazy, and it's like. Okay, you could become a distributor without service for $149 a year if you don't have the service. And, $149 a year to be a distributor. Okay, that's all cool, but here's where I have a problem. If you're looking to go beyond saving money, Solavei is an affiliate stream. Here we go. In its first 6 weeks of operation, Solavei paid out over $1 million to affiliates. False, blown out of proportion, impossible. Do the math. Now, the numbers vary depending on who you're talking to with how many Solavei reps there are. Are there 30,000, 40,000, 75, 100,000? I would guess the number is probably somewhere between 30 and 40,000. Now do the math. Even if you had 90,000 people in there, okay? So let's say it was a perfect world and you had 30,000 people who got exactly 3 people that created a trio, okay, which created $20 a month. And so 30,000, that would create $600,000 right there that would be paid out, which is like very unlikely. You're talking about even if you had 90,000 people in this business, with 30,000 of them having a trio paying $20 a month, that would pay out $600,000. And I would venture to say that you could probably divide that by 5 or 10 at tops. There's only a few people making money at Solavei. So to say that Solavei has paid out $1 million to affiliates, especially affiliates who are getting their first month free right now at $49. There's no money coming into the company. That is so erroneous. Okay, now you go down here. 213 also promises to be exciting for Solavei. We will be launching in Canada and Mexico, then other countries. Okay, first of all, Solavei is not available in Canada or Mexico. Okay, it's available in the United States, in Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and it's available in Europe. And basically in Europe, it's only available in 11 countries total. And outside the United Kingdom, these are small countries, and I'll show you what they are. But to be saying, okay, it's a T-Mobile venture, but T-Mobile isn't in Canada and Mexico, and say that they've paid out $1 million, why are you sending this garbage? Why are they allowing this person to send it out? So I look, and it comes from these people, and God bless them. They're trying to make a living. But what gets me, when you look, I tried to respond to this, but it says administrator at solavei.com, and it also said, when I tried to reply, the address actually came from no reply at solavei.com. So I don't know if Solavei is endorsing this, because on one hand they're saying you can't mention T-Mobile. That's one of the rules. You can't use the word Solavei. I've been over this with my other videos. And then to claim that they paid out $1 million. I'm sorry, I'm just a little aggravated. $1 million in 6 weeks. That is BS. Like the hype wasn't enough to drag all these people into Solavei, but now, and then to tell me that you're going into Canada and Mexico, there's no T-Mobile service in Canada and Mexico. So how much more BS have they fed us, and are they going to continue to feed us? So just to give you proof of where T-Mobile service is available, because they're claiming they're going into Mexico and into Canada. Basically, like I said, T-Mobile is available in certain networks in Europe, United States, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. Okay, The T-Mobile brand is present in 11 European countries. Now check out these countries: Austria, Croatia, Czech Republic, Germany. They run as a telecom. That's where they're based, in Bonn, Germany. Hungary, the big Republic of Macedonia, Montenegro, the Netherlands, Poland, Slovakia, the United Kingdom, and the United States. So, how are you going to go into Mexico and how are you going to go into Canada when you don't have T-Mobile service there? Okay, friends, I really didn't want to do this, but I can't help it any longer. A lot of you have gotten into Solavei, and you don't want to hear anything about Solavei except positive stuff. You're in denial. You think this is going to get you rich. Ryan Wuerch has that personality like he's some kind of presidential candidate. They make everything look so beautiful and charming, and I give them credit for that. But the bottom line is, Ryan Wuerch has a recent past of failures, and not only that, ethical issues. Right here, we're showing Ryan Wuerch is out as CEO of Motricity. This was just August 22nd, 2011. This is recent. Okay. Their stocks were down. The company was in. Here we go. The company stock has tumbled. Meanwhile, Motricity is the subject of shareholders' lawsuit filed on August 12th in federal court in Seattle, accusing the company of violating security laws. So, says the management exodus continues at Motricity. This time at the very top, Ryan Wuerch, the chief executive officer of the struggling mobile marketing company, has been terminated under a mutual agreement. Wuerch is the latest top executive to be terminated. You're going to notice a lot of these names: Richard Lee Jr., Tyler Nelson, and CFO Alan Hebner. There's another article. Motricity faces insider trading allegations in new class action suit. I'll leave these links for you guys, but I'll just go down here. This is according to the lawsuit. Motricity officers began issuing statements in June 2010 that did not accurately reflect material facts about the effects of the industry's rapidly growing competition on the company's stagnating growth rate. This is furthermore, former Motricity CEO Ryan Wuerch and senior executive have been accused of orchestrating an $11 million insider trading scheme that has had devastating effects on the company's performance. Okay, this is the guy who's leading you over there at Solavei. Now, this guy was burned so bad that he actually created a website called RyanWuerch.net. And he talks about Wuerch, disgraced and fired chief executive of Motricity, is under legal attack from thousands of ripped-off, defrauded Motricity Inc. public shareholders who have sued him personally in federal court for his dishonesty for issuing false and misleading press releases and false SE files, for his personal insider trading fraud totaling $5.6 million, and for costing shareholders an estimated $1.3 billion. Obviously this guy has a grudge, so we'll take it for what it's worth. Ryan Wuerch creates a new scam every couple of years. In 2011, Wuerch's Motricity IPO scam lost his shareholders $1.3 billion. Fast forward to July 2012. His scam for 2012 is to Solavei, and the guy says, joke. That's this guy's opinion. Which Motricity insiders gained the most from Mr. Wuerch's fraud, he asks. Talks about litigators suing Ryan Wuerch for fraud, accuse him of assisting the following insiders, including himself, to get their Motricity shares sold to the unsuspecting public at top prices. Litigators say Ryan Wuerch used false press releases. One of those insiders has received $11 million for their shares. Who were these? He calls them cronies. These are not my words. Cronies of Mr. Wuerch, these lucky insiders. Here you go. Ryan Wuerch, James Smith, James R. Ryan, Alan Ebner again. Look at Solavei and see who's back there behind all this. So the move came after Motricity stock plummeted in value after going public. Solavei. The company still operates in Durham. When Wuerch moved its headquarters to Washington, hundreds of workers lost their jobs in the process. 2 weeks ago, Motricity's fortunes under Wuerch went from difficult to worst. The quarterly financial report and earnings forecast, the latter being much less than analysts expected, triggered a sellout of the stock and numerous changes. At the senior level of management, this is a quote, we are initiating a transition in the CFO position to replace Alan Hebner, who will assist in the transition, Wuerch said in the earnings report. This is just bad news, man. This guy's got bad history. You know, look at this, a class action suit. I don't know. If you're getting into a company, you should know who's behind it. A lot of you are going to be upset with this and say it's no big deal. But, you know, if you're jumping from one company that you just buried and you cost stockholders all kinds of money, employees lost their jobs, and now you're opening up a new company only a couple of months later while you still have lawsuits pending against you and SEC allegations, and you come on in these pretty little videos like you're sitting in Hawaii. Yeah, you probably are sitting. He probably is sitting in some island with the money that he defrauded people out of. So go ahead, you know, make your own decision. But I've known about this for a while, and I'm just putting it out there. And you guys can research it. I'll leave you the links.